queens, hold on to your wigs and your borrowed crowns. Kathy Griffin is here.
Come on, give it up. Emmy and Grammy award-winning comedian, best-selling author, and her new film is Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story. Welcome, how are you?
Well, I got a hell of a story to tell.
We know, girl.
So it's all about the Trump scandal and the ups and downs.
And we're going to get into that.
Oh, we might as well.
But first, I wanted to get into a tweet that you did here at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
You tweeted directly at Ben Smith,
Yeah.
editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed News.
Where the hell is he?
You were like, Ben, let's hang.
Yeah.
Did he ever get back to you?
No, he didn't. He's being very high and mighty, as my mother would say, and I will chase him down and hunt him like a dog.
Okay.
Yes! That is what we
And I
like
think
to
I
hear.
said something to him like, "Don't you want to meet a real star?"
Oh.
So we'll see. I don't, you know.
Oh, because he was busy talking to Hickenlooper.
Oh, who's Hickenlooper compared to Kathy Griffin?
Who indeed?
Thank you. I refer to myself in the third person now. It's very trendy.
Well, we appreciate that you didn't just walk off AM to DM just because our editor-in-chief wouldn't get back in touch
No,
with you.
but
That's
that would
the
be a
love.
moment. I'm not above a good storm off and I throw a shoe at somebody.
I like that. I
Just
like
to
that.
get the drama going.
Aim for me. He did his makeup this morning. Aim for me. Aim for me. So tell us about this film. It's about that turbulent year after that photo.
The photo.
The photo.
Right.
Do you love that we can just say the photo now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that photo, it's changed my life overnight.
So
And-
what was it like making and selling this film?
Well, it's the first yes I have gotten since May 30th, 2017, when the photo went live. And so I am like sort of blacklisted in Hollywood because they're afraid of me, even though I have 2 Emmys and a Grammy. Thank you. And so...
Know her.
No. Luckily, one thing that the accidental president, because it's an accident, he's not really the real president. But anyway, and he cheated. Like, he cheated. Most people cheated like a poker game. He cheated with the election. All right, anyway, so one thing that even he couldn't do was stop people from buying tickets. So the good thing is the first 2 months, I was on the no-fly list, and unlike the other folks who allegedly threatened the president, like Johnny Depp or the singer Morrissey or Snoop, they just came after me. And so they didn't give me the opportunity to talk to the Secret Service or anything. I just got a call from my lawyer saying the Department of Justice has opened an open investigation on you. The Secret Service and the U.S. Attorney's Office ready to prosecute, and they were seeing if they could charge me with conspiracy to assassinate the President of the United States, which holds a lifetime sentence. So that's one of my messages, and I want to make it funny, and hopefully the movie is funny more than anything, but it's important to me that people know and know your rights. Like, I was detained at every airport when I went overseas. I was on the Interpol list.
Wow.
Yeah, and they can take your phone and SIM card. So don't believe the rumors. They took my passport, and I still don't know what's on my passport. In fact, I actually asked Jason Leopold to do a FOIA, so I have 3 FOIA requests in, and they're slow walking it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. They're taking their time. But listen, you're very political. You're involved in politics. You here at South by just met up with AOC, correct?
Yeah.
Did you guys talk a little bit about Twitter? Did you have any recs for her? How to deal with harassment?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, these First Amendment T-shirts are sold at KathyGriffin.com.
Okay,
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
show
you.
'em off on
Thank
camera.
you.
Show 'em
That's
off.
right.
Good plug, good plug,
Because
good
I
plug,
always
good
say
plug.
there's a reason it's the First Amendment. I don't really know the other ones that well, but the first one I know wall to wall. And I did get to meet AOC, and it was really cool. So I'm sure the bots will come after both of us, but she's just so impressive and sharp. And a lot of electeds after my Trump photo just were afraid to be seen with me. And I kind of don't blame them, because the amount of like crap that came at me online, and I didn't know about bot farms in Macedonia and all this stuff. So I did quite a lesson. Oh, you know what I love? I love that piece of crap David Pecker flipped from AMI, because they're not just the Globe and the Inquirer, because the hit pieces on me were immediate. And Trump like personally called, was like, ruin her. And so they tried. And then Eddie Munster, Don Jr., he actually said, well, his brother is date rape. Because allegedly, I just can't imagine consensual sex with Eric.
Right there, girl.
Well, I just think, anybody banging Eric Trump should get a Medal of Freedom. All right, so anyway, obviously I'm not holding back. And once you've had the actual Department of Justice trying to ruin your life, you go, oh, yeah, I don't have one F left to give. I don't have one. You could try to give me one, and I throw it away. No Fs left to give.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you, because you and I we talked a year ago.
Yeah.
And we talked about, the way Hollywood and all these other people responded. Has anything changed? Like, now a year later, are people, like, coming back back to you? Are they sending you DMs when maybe they won't stand up for you in public?
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, there's still, it's interesting. I mean, I don't mean to dog Hollywood because I've worked in television.
Oh, but let's dog them, girl.
Why
We're
not?
awesome.
Why not?
Yeah.
And so that's why I was so excited, because when I started the tour, it was a 2-hour show, and it ballooned to a 3-hour show, because by the time I played like Radio City and sold out Carnegie Hall in 24 hours, you heard me, I had to change my whole business model, and I started my first mailing list at the ripe age of 57 and a text list, and I hired a marketing firm in DC because Hollywood didn't know what to do with me. And then I ended up learning how to promote my own shows, and I did that on the tour. So I've really sort of gotten into the business part of show business, and I love it. So it's all about figuring out, when you can't get in the front door, how to get in the side window or sneak in the dog door, which I've done in Hollywood for years. So this opportunity to show the film here is, honestly, it's the first yes I've gotten in a year and 7 months. And nobody, and like none of the, I call them the old dinosaur check signers, because people don't know there's about 6 old white guys that control all the money. And even like as powerful as someone like Shonda Rhimes is, she's still got to kick it upstairs to the old white dinosaur to greenlight a show, which is appalling. So I just want to be honest with women, and I'm chairman of the Time's Not Quite Up Yet campaign. And, you know, I loved when Oprah said, "A new day is on the horizon!" But it's not quite there yet. So we have a lot of work to do under the specter of this administration, which, of course, hates those movements and everything they represent.
We want to play Would You Rather with you, but I did want to ask one question about this. Are you surprised? I mean, like, in the years since you've gone through this experience, you say you've been blacklisted. How did you feel seeing Hollywood, and I would argue many of those check signers, support people like Kevin Hart or Louis C.K.?
I really do believe it's an ageism and misogyny issue, because I've made about $75 million over my career, and the reason I talk about that is I think more women should talk about money and not be afraid to. And, you know, it's just easier to support a guy, and there's also a lot of whisper campaigns, like a lot of those, you know, like, thank God we finally got rid of Leslie Moonves and his allegedly rapey ass. But I think the problem is a lot of those check signers are engaging in that same behavior. So they click up like cops, and it's more difficult, I think, for a woman to break through. And I also think a lot of these guys have an attitude with me, like, who do you think you are being 58 years old and still trying to stay in the game?
You're Kathy fucking Griffin.
That's who. That's
Come on.
That's who.
Selling out Carnegie Hall in 24 hours.
That's right. And I played the Long Center here in Austin, and so the tour was fantastic. And I just wanted to record it because my story is historic, if nothing else. So love me or hate me, love me or hate the photo. You know, you don't want the president deciding if you can have a job or not, or if you're insurable or not. So it's quite a journey.
All right. Well, to that point, let's get into. This is going to be a lightning round of.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right.
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay.
I'm not holding back.
Would you rather, don't hold back, host the Oscars, host the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or host RuPaul's Drag Race?
Drag Race.
Oh, obviously.
Those are my people. Come on.
That's it. All right, let me ask you this. If you could be on a
Miss
panel...
Vanjie. Miss Vanjie.
Keep doing it so I can identify all the gay people in the audience. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good.
Okay, they got it.
Give it. If you could be on a panel, South by Southwest panel, with Jack or Zuckerberg, who would you choose, and why?
Oh, Jack for sure, because Jack Dorsey, I'm going to take him to the woodshed one of these days. I don't know how that freak turned into, like, I'm going to cover Ferguson, and I'm cool and hip, and then he's, like, sticking up for, like, the Charlottesville Nazis, so I did not see that coming, get it? So, you know, I don't want to hear from these idiots that won't regulate their platforms if they're on the freaking spectrum scale. Who isn't? And so I think it's really irresponsible, and I do believe that the social media should be regulated. As someone who's been a victim of, like, the memosphere, and my photo went, you know, viral around the world. So in one way I could tour the world because everybody knows the crazy redhead from the picture. But on the other hand, I also saw firsthand all the misinformation and disinformation. And I think it's disgusting that those guys testified before Congress. Although how funny was it when those old white senators, like, they'd be talking to Zuckerberg about Google? It was just pathetic. So that's what AOC and I talked about. I said, thank you for giving basic Twitter lessons to Congress. Like, and I said, teach them all that stuff the kids like, that Twitch.
So that they can, get into
Twitch.
it. Yeah. And let me tell you, I love that. You would do that panel, and it would be a very combative one, and I'm sure a very funny one. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us.
I love you guys.
Come on, give it up for Kathy.
Thank you.
The film is Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story, and it's premiering today at South by Southwest. Don't miss it if you're here in Austin.